Hi folks, this is David back with Carlton Arms. Today we're going to give a little trial run of the Gforce GFY1 bullpup 12 gauge. We tried it before with some standard buckshot we had for some home defense. It was doing about 1250 feet per second. It would not cycle the action. The manufacturer recommends 1400 to 1400 feet per second plus for initial break-in time. Like I said, those 1250s would not do it. We have two different ones we were able to find at our local store. We could not find 1400 plus, but we did find 1350s in a birdshot, and we did find some 1380 foot per second in a buckshot. So we're going to try with the 1350s first to see if that will work the action, and if it will not, then we'll swap over to the 1380s and see how it goes. All right. All right. We're on safe. All right, that actually cycled very well. Well, I said it did. Well, put it on safe. It spit the other one out. Let's see what happened here. Spit the other one out, but it did not load the next. Let's give it another chance. This is brand new, so the spring is pretty tight in there. So let's give it another chance on this. See what it does. All right, that is fully cycled it. It did not. We'll just go ahead and run these 5 out because it is round mag. Accuracy. Okay, that one did not fully cycle at all. All right, that's all 5. Okay, that was enough to throw it back, enough to eject the shells, but it was not enough to bring it back far enough to actually load up the next one coming out of the magazine. So that's the 1350s in the bird shot. The next one we got will be 1380 foot per second in a buckshot. Since the 1350s would eject the shell and it's actually operating the piston, hoping give it a little bit extra oomph will be enough to fully cycle it, which will drag that next round into the cylinder. Let me get it loaded up and we'll come back and see. All right, folks. We ran through the 1350s, those 5 shots. They were enough to eject the shell, but not enough to throw the bolt back far enough to bring the next shell in. So now we're going to load up with 1380 foot per second buckshot, and hopefully that extra oomph is enough that it'll go ahead and drag the shell up into it. If not, then I will have to search around till I can find some 1400 foot plus. But let's hope the 1380s will do it, because this is, I mean, even though it hasn't fully actuated it to where to load it back up, it's kind of fun to shoot. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, we're on safe. Bolt closed. All right. Now let's see if these old 1380s will do the job. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah. That is all 5. So the 1380 foot per second, they did the job very well. It didn't have to go 1400 plus. And folks, that's I did go ahead and mount the sights on there. It looks like it's the sights are real tall on there, but they're not really, because as short as this thing is, it likes to shoot high from where you're aiming at. So I've got the front peg run all the way up and the rear peg centered up pretty good. And both the bird shot and the buckshot did really well at hitting pretty much center mass. So I mean, this gun here, these G-forces, You can pick them up for $300 to $325 all day long. Sometimes on sales, you can get them a little bit less than that. Um, as long as you use the ammunition that's got enough punch to it, like I said, the 1350s weren't quite enough, but the 1380s and the buckshot, they did real well. This is not something you're going to hunt with. This is for having fun at the range. This is for home defense, things like that. If you're going to use it for home defense, then I would take it to the range enough times to where you fully break this action in. You know, put 100, 150 rounds through it at least the 1380 foot per second one, and get everything good and broke in. Then try some lower power. Try some lower power, maybe some Fiochi home defense buckshot that's running about 1250 foot per second. That puts a little less recoil on whoever's using it. And once you get to the point it can shoot something at 1,300 feet per second or a little less reliably, then I would say something like this, where you can move it around easily inside a confined space, you know, and it's not sticking way out in front of you, then I would use it for home defense myself. So, folks, I've seen different reviews. Some people like these, some people don't, for various reasons. I'm going to say that it's not a cheap gun. It functioned very well once we got the right ammunition, and I think that's part of the bad rap it gets, because you need to have the right ammunition to make it function right. But with the right ammunition, it functioned just fine. It's good to shoot. I would recommend something over this front Picatinny rail, maybe a slant grip or something, because I can tell you when you do shoot it, if you have your hand back up against towards the trigger guard, it's not bad. But when you just try to hold the Picatinny rail, it does dig into your fingers a little bit. So I would recommend something that makes it a little more comfortable, maybe a slant grip on the front that mount to the rail. On this Gforce GFY1, I like it. I'm going to say that it is an affordable shotgun, that it is not cheap. Now, when we get home, we will do a teardown on this, do a re-inspection on it, do a cleaning on it before we set it away. But as of right now, I see no issues with it. There's nothing that I can tell visually that's anything harmed. There's no scratching. There's no digging into anything. Nowhere I can find where anything looks to be malfunctioning. Didn't feel like it malfunctioned. Everything felt good. So I'm going to call this Gforce affordable and not cheap. So till our next time, you know what? Let's be safe out there. Have fun. Let's get more folks into the shooting community, and just everybody be good to one another. This is David with Carlton Arms. Y'all be safe.